I was an extremely shy kid. I started out as a parochial school, country, two-room schoolhouse, went to a big middle school with, thousands of kids, and I was a lost soul. Mr. Hop is the main experience for me going forward and becoming an artist and a human being. Not just an artist, but also a human being. I was the new kid, and the only place I felt like I kind of fit in was in the art class, where I could kind of use my hands and not have to worry about whether I was remembering, doing my homework and all of that. And he took me under his wing. The narrative quality that goes with figurative work can change. Every single one becomes a brand new novel that you're writing with new things to explore, new things to understand. And so I've shifted more and more over my whole career to doing more romantic, more challenging kinds of images. There aren't very many straight lines in any of my artwork. It's almost all an evolution of form or a rotation of form, and I love that. And that's one of the really great things about Portland. Portland has that mix of people who give a lot, talk a lot about art, and there's a lot of artists here that are doing really cool work. I kind of separated my sense of whether it's good or not into two different categories. Is it doing a pretty good job of, financing my life? Am I able to still eat? And some sculptures are way better at that, and I like those sculptures. And then there's other sculptures that are satisfying on a deeper level, where I think, well, maybe this sculpture is not going to be appreciated until sometime down the road, or maybe never. When you have a narrative story, a book, you need a protagonist, an antagonist. There's kind of a structure for writing a story. In sculpture, especially in the classic sense, it's about the object. Is it beautiful? Do the lines flow? Does it complement the area that it sits in? And for me, in order for work to become narrative, it had to become conceived more the way a book is conceived. My sculptures are going to be about connections in society, and a lot of them are duets, where you have two people in some sort of a partnership, or a couple sculptures that I have where there may be 5 different people, and you get to imagine that there's a drama of some sort between them. This table is a piece of artwork. It's not for sale. It's not part of a collection. It's just a piece of artwork that was made. And I make about 1 piece of furniture a year, and then do different things with it, give it away. I think I break a stereotype by a traditionalist approach to making art, and then a private life that's supporting causes that are very, very much left-wing. Dancing woman, classic form, capturing the motion of a dress, but she's dancing with crocodiles. But by having the relationship between beautiful, dancing, happy woman and dangerous crocodiles in a swirl of mud, that became something more meaningful. So this was the story of, hey, you have to be able to stay happy, you have to be able to live your full life, not live within fear. The medium that I use appears to be bronze because everything in the room is bronze, but the medium that I use is actually idea and mud. So I am taking some sort of a concept, and I'm mushing clay and wire to create this stuff. And I feel privileged to be able to walk on the planet and take a glob of mud and turn it into something that has meaning and value to other people, to communicate with that rather than words on a paper. after I did the Man and Technology series, the whole notion of having these complex relationships that I could build stories around, at least in my own head, kept me interested enough so that I could go forward with a fairly long series of sculptures. And so I got involved with the circus and made, I don't know, 13 or so sculptures that are all kind of invented acts that had some sort of meaning for me in my life. This one was called Rags to Riches. And Rags to Riches was this ball being rags, this ball being riches. And the question is, can he step from this ball to this ball? And then the next question is, does he really want to? Because this one might take him away from this ball of experience, this one that's old and used and has been part of him being playing. And then this one all of a sudden is almost too pristine. And so that play between rags to riches is one that everybody plays in their own mind. And what do I have to do to become rich? And then the question is, do I really want to do that? And you should be able to ask the question. And that's what this sculpture does. Do you really want to become rich? It might be dangerous, it might be hard, and you might not like it when you get there. I don't have a masterpiece emerging in my mind that I need to produce. And so I think I'm focused on letting myself have a life that has some pleasure in it, and then letting the next generation that's coming along and producing more and more masterful works kind of carry the load of being a responsible artist to make work that's meaningful, that can influence how the world changes, and take responsibility for our world, not just decorate it, and not just be a hip person in a hip culture, but take the responsibility of making artwork and what artwork has done over the millennium and give that back to the culture. The culture really needs artists to think more deeply about what we're doing here on this planet, what we're doing with each other, how do we get a life that works better for everybody. And I think artists have a lot to say about that, maybe more than anybody else. Most people are in business where they're just looking about how much money can I make, and it takes a group of people to think ethically about how you change the culture that you're living in. And I think that's an artist's responsibility. And I think that there are a lot of artists who really do take that seriously. They're not just creating decorations for homes, they're putting their heart and soul into their work. And more power to that group of artists who are doing that.